friends, welcome back to my channel and welcome to my June paid-for Boxycharm unboxing. Yeah, I am still waiting on my PR. I have a fun story about that. Not so fun, but you know what I mean. And yes, as you can probably tell with my energy and my voice, if you did not know, I am sick with COVID. If you only watch my Boxycharm videos, you may have missed my last video where I kind of put together a tiny house moving vlog and a thrift shop with me video. I'll link that above so you can check that out. I am still sick with COVID. I'm actually like on day, I think 12 of this, and I have definitely had symptoms. It sucks. It just sucks. So if my energy is low, please forgive me. But I wanted to be able to go into my paid-for box with Boxycharm, and I'll let you know what's going on with my PR, because this is the second month in a row that we're having some struggles, and I'm just gonna give you a little bit of intel on, kind of how it works behind the scenes when you work with a brand like Boxycharm, how it used to be versus how it is now with all these changes and transitions. Today, because I'm not feeling well, I am drinking my Zevia ginger ale, so grab your tea, grab your snack, grab your water, get comfy, and this video may not be as long as they usually are, but I'm gonna do my best. Cheers! I may actually intentionally keep this short for myself for filming purposes and for editing, because guys, I am exhausted. I've totally forgot what's in here, but I actually just realized I've already used one thing, so I'm gonna start with the thing I've already used. Oh, the theme for this month is Express Yourself. Very colorful, probably for Pride Month for June. And the first thing that I have already tried, because I thought this could help me feel better, and when you're sick, especially when you've been sick for many days, I don't know about you, but my skin really starts to show it. So I tried the Give Them La La Skin Stay Calm Soothing Sheet Masks for $30. Now, I think we've already seen that this brand has been heavily discounted in a lot of different ways. Like I've seen it on the Boxycharm, like add-ons, pop-ups for like $5, really inexpensive. I think I've even seen this kind of floating around at discount places. And I thought, you know what an opportunity to try her skincare line. I haven't heard really great things about her makeup line, but I thought, well, let's try the skincare. Your girl is struggling anyway, what's gonna hurt? So when I use this, I have to tell you, it is heavily saturated. I have been living in my bedroom essentially since I got COVID, trying to stay away from Adam, who by the way does not have COVID. Knock on wood, that stays that way. I've been staying in my bedroom, so I thought, you know what? I'm just gonna put on this little mask and see if this helps me to feel better. But I quickly had to get up and move to the bathroom because there's so much liquid in here. It is very, very liquid heavy, and I wasn't expecting the sheet mask to have two parts. It's like, it's got a backing on it that you have to peel off, and it was very difficult to apply the face mask. I'm not gonna do it right now just because I've already done it, and I'm already having some breakouts. Now, I think it's from having to wear a mask so much in the house when I'm like irritating my skin, but some of it could have been from this because it's very liquidy. It says to leave on for 10 to 20 minutes. I think I left it on for 20 to 25 because I liked the cooling sensation. It is an aloe infused version. I really liked the hydration since I'm feeling very dehydrated, but it was too much goopiness and I was in desperate need of some hydration. So I don't know about this. How many masks do we get? Is it 4 or 5? 4. You only get 4 of these. I'm probably gonna use at least another 1, maybe 2, but do I think it's worth $30? No, I would not spend $30 on this. I know not a lot of people love sheet masks anymore anyway, but I was kind of excited for a sheet mask just because I was looking for anything to help me feel a little bit more invigorated, a little bit more hydrated, and this was overwhelmingly everywhere. Got pretty messy. I even used the excess down the neck and the chest and even on the hands, but there was still so much extra. I think it was very cooling, and I don't mind getting something like this in a subscription box for sure because I think it gives me an opportunity to try it. And like I said, I'm going to try another one probably in the next day or so. I just used it, so I don't want to use it again. But I wouldn't spend $30 on it, but I'm okay with getting something like this in a subscription box. It's just not my favorite thing. Now, I've not tried anything else in here, so let's keep going. Dr. Brandt Backlight Primer. I thought I had heard that we were getting something like this in the base boxes. This is a $38 value. Unfortunately, I wish Dr. Brandt was cruelty-free because I used to love their scrubs and their skincare a lot, so I'm very curious about this, but I also have a ton of primers, so I'm probably gonna be gifting this away in the future. Ooh, face and body turmeric brightening polish for $38. This is an indulgent polishing scrub powered by turmeric to visibly brighten skin and reveal a natural looking glow from Volation Beauty. Is this cruelty free? Oh, it does have a cruelty free logo on it. Makes me so happy when I see that. It says it's supposed to tone and hydrate, promotes overall skin radiance, visibly brightens and smooths. How does this work? This is what the bottle looks like. It looks really nice. How to use: gently massage into wet skin and leave on for 2 minutes. Rinse thoroughly. You know what? I already washed my face today, but I feel like I could probably use a little bit of invigoration. So I will use this. Just 1 second here. Let's finish the unboxing portion. What is this little guy? I love seeing bubble wrap. Yes, we've been begging for some better packaging to protect items. Shades by Sun Bronzer, I guess. Okay, let's see here. I do see, again, another cruelty-free logo. Love to see it. Oh, it says, "You are very beautiful." Well, thank you. I don't feel it. So when some positivity is nice to read. This is a $17.50 value. Did I pick this? I don't know if this color is that great. Let me see. This is in the shade Walnut Bronzer from the Contour palette. Oh, is this a contour? Or it says bronzer right up front, so I don't know. We can see how this works. Maybe it'll work better once I can actually get some vitamin D on my skin. And the last thing is an eyeshadow palette. Super excited, and it is from Violet Voss. And I've had some hit or miss palettes with Violet Voss. Some of them I've really liked, some of them I've really not liked. This is called Sun-Kissed Summer, which, oh my gosh, so perfect, right? I am wanting to get better so I can start really getting into summer here in my new area. I'm really excited to do some beach days, so let's see. This is Sun-Kissed Summer Eyeshadow Palette and Pressed Pigment Palette for $37. Cha-ching, cha-ching. Let's see. Okay, there is a mirror. Ooh, these look pretty. Oh, those look nice. I'm not a huge pinky girl anymore, but I do see some of these gold shades that I like, and this could be fun to play with today. I'm looking for anything to make me feel good, and I haven't done my makeup. Have I done my makeup since vacation? Which was at the end of May, beginning of June, like really like the last week in May into the first week, like few days of June, and then I got sick. I don't think I have, so maybe that'll give me that mental boost, you know? Let's see if I come more alive throughout this video. So let's see here really quickly what the value is of my paid for base box. And then as I'm doing a little bit of a get ready with me, I will explain what's going on with the PR because, girl, we already like got our eyes on Boxycharm going, all right, we see all these changes. Help us to want to be with you again. This is getting frustrating. But the whole box is worth $160.50. So that's a pretty good value. So let me go wash my face really quickly with this brightening polish, and we'll see what my first thoughts are, you know, my initial impressions. So be right back. Okay, so I am rubbing it into my face right now, and I don't know why I didn't think of it. It's probably pretty obvious. It's actually just an exfoliator, so that's the polish, which, you know, I don't really have another exfoliator that has a nice, I don't know if you'll be able to see like the little scrubby bits on my fingers there. I don't think I have anything right now that's like this, so right now I could really use it. It says use it on your body and your face 1 time a week. So I don't know, I'll try it on my body another time and see how I like it. It says to do this for 2 minutes and then wash it off. So I'll be right back after I've cleansed. Okay. Just kind of feels like an exfoliator, but it might feel a little bit better after it dries and I give it just a few minutes to kind of lay down. My skin tends to get a little red when I put a lot of pressure on it, so when I'm using an exfoliator, it's going to get even redder. So don't let that scare you if you don't have sensitive skin like I do. We'll let this kind of like settle for just a minute, and let me just get a strategy going here of what we're going to be able to do. So I can use the bronzer, and I can use the Violet Voss, and I just used that facial scrub, so I'll give you an idea. So I've already tried this, so I don't need to try this again. I can't try the Dr. Brandt, so really the only things I'm going to be trying makeup wise, at least there are 2 things of makeup here. It's a bronzer and an eyeshadow palette. So I guess what I need to do is kind of get to that phase now, because that's later in a makeup journey after I do more skincare and stuff. So Give me a minute or two, but for you it'll be in just a second, and I will be right back ready to do some bronzer and some eyeshadow. Keep in mind I'm probably gonna keep this light today, guys, because I'm not feeling great. Actually, I forgot. What I was gonna do is tell you guys about my PR situation, right? Okay, I'm just putting on a little Peach and Lily blurring primer here. Gonna let that settle in. And now the Boxycharm PR struggles that I've had since I've moved. I have been working with Boxycharm now for 2-3 years. I'm trying to remember now how long I've been working with them. I've been doing their videos, like videos on their products, since I started my channel. That was my very first video. And you guys know Boxycharm has been all over my channel. A lot of you guys only associate me with Boxycharm, even though I've always done like faves and fails, talked about other makeup, high-end, drugstore, all of it. But I've always loved Boxy, so you've always seen it here on my channel. And when we first started working together, Boxycharm and I, they had originally just started emailing with us, and you kind of worked with one dedicated person. Then they got a little bit bigger and they started expanding their boxes with the premium and luxe. I can't remember what came first, the luxe or the premium, the chicken or the egg, I can't remember. But I remember that at first they could only do, somehow my foundation went crazy all over the place. When I was doing PR with them, at first all they would do for PR, at least for me, maybe not everybody, but for me, was the base box. And I was already purchasing and on wait lists and stuff for the next levels up. I ended up getting those, paying for those myself, and I was getting 2 base boxes, but one was PR and one was one I paid for. And then they eventually opened it up to allowing influencers to get all of the boxes in PR, but I only started getting those in PR, I want to say within the past year or so. It's not been nearly as long. When they started opening it up with all those other boxes and they started getting a little bit bigger as far as Boxycharm goes, when it was just Boxycharm, they had a dashboard behind the scenes that we would all fill out every single month if we were doing PR. And it was essentially like a touch point between the creator and the brand, which is a company, just to be able to say, yes, this is what my intentions are to do with the product you send me. Because it's not just free stuff you get, there's obligations and work behind it. It's kind of like another form of compensation in a way for creators, but it's also a great marketing strategy for the brand, which is essentially how PR works. You guys generally know this stuff. But every month we had to go into the dashboard, our own personal login for their back end, and be like, yes, this is where I will post about your products. They would then start telling us about the brand's goal for the month, like what was going to be the theme and what were some inspos if we wanted to do with the products they gave us. Now keep in mind, a lot of times they would show a lot of makeup things, and we started being like, okay, but we're not getting any makeup in the boxes really, so I don't know how we're supposed to execute what you're showing us in this dashboard for like a mood board kind of thing. But every month we had to go in and say, yes, I do want to get the PR this month, and yes, I will post about it on my Instagram and my YouTube, things like that, businessy stuff that may be a little boring. So maybe 2-3 months ago, I'm really iffy right now on timelines because my world's been a little crazy, but very recently they emailed us. Boxycharm's content creator email all of a sudden became a thing, and they started emailing us saying, don't use the dashboard anymore. This is what you need to do now going forward. But the dashboard still existed. Like, it's still something I can access, and it was still the same links and everything they would send us for like our links down below that we put in our description boxes, you know? So it was a little confusing that they were emailing us, but the dashboard still existed that we had been using for years. Well, in the dashboard is also our personal information of what are our shipping locations. If we do make a sale, like say someone does click on my link, they need to be able to know how do they compensate me my $5 when someone buys off of my link or off of my video recommendations and all of the hours and hours of work we do as content creators. So since the dashboard was still up and it still holds all of our important individual information as content creators, I was like, okay, well, I'm gonna update my address in there. Well, I updated my address, and then I found that it didn't matter. They were still shipping my PR to the older address where I used to live at my tiny house. So I sent the email address that they had started sending all of the content creators e-blasts from and was like, hey, I think maybe my address didn't get updated. This is my new address. Can you please let me know what you need from me? And they were like, well, you need to email us directly with address changes. I'll update it and have to resend you a box because we've already sent you a box. And I was like, oh, okay, well, thank you so much for your help. I wasn't aware that the dashboard no longer held our like addresses for you to be able to know where to ship from. Because it still has like all of our other vital information in it, like our our tax information in there, because we do have to, if you get enough with it, you do have to, as somebody who's getting compensation potentially from a brand, you need to fill out all of the legal things. So all of that information is still held in the dashboard. So it's a little confusing for us. So I was like, okay, thank you. They sent me the box and I did my video last month. If you missed it, I'm sure I'll have it linked for you. And then I got to this month where I have been traveling, moving, still trying to get adjusted, and I'm now mid-June. Actually, it was like, I think last week was when I realized, I was like, hey, I've not even seen a shipment notification come through in my email. So I reached out to them and I was like, hey, I haven't seen any shipment notifications yet. Can you let me know if when you do ship my PR for this month, if the address is now my new address? I had updated it the previous month with this email, their email contact, their Boxycharm creators. I hope this is making sense. And then I waited and nobody got back to me. So I went ahead and emailed again and was like, hey, I just want to do a quick follow-up. I don't have any of my PR for this month and I'm trying to coordinate. My paid-for box came first, which is rare. So can you please let me know if my new address, and I filled in like the first piece of my address, is what you have in your system. Thank you so much. I appreciate your help, Nicole. And then another 2 days goes by, and then I finally got a response from somebody, probably about 5 o'clock last night, and they were like, hi, you need to let us know when you move to this email address. I'll have to send more boxes. And I was like, I already did this last month. I actually coordinated with somebody and I let them know because I had originally filled it out in the dashboard, like I told you, where all of our other vital information that a company needs to work with people. But then I also still received a PR box for the month of May because I updated you guys here in this email. Maybe there was a mix-up, ? I appreciate all of your help. Again, this is my full address now and going forward. Can this be updated? And then I just got an email this morning that they will be sending me my boxes. So that's where they're at the moment. But now I'm sitting here going, do I need to tell them again? Like, because this is the second time, well, technically the third time I've told them what my address is. So I don't know, to be honest, because it used to be if we were emailing with the contact, it wasn't just a, Boxycharm general email. It was a one individual person who worked with the brand. So you built a relationship with these people. And then when the company got too big for that, we moved to the dashboard where we would just kind of fill in our information, and then they had everything a little bit more streamlined. So now it kind of feels like we're going backwards a little bit with doing these emails, but then it's still, the dashboard exists that holds all of our vital information in it that has bank information, addresses, important things. So I'm very confused since I've emailed them 2 months in a row now, and they don't really seem to know what my address is. So I'm concerned that now do I need to tell them again? And maybe what I'll do is reply to that email and say, hey, I just want to make sure that ongoing for next month, this is the address that's set up in the system now. I'll probably just have to do that once I'm done filming here. But that's why I don't have my PR boxes, because for some reason, somebody internally isn't talking to the other people, so I still got a box for last month, but now all of a sudden they don't know my new address again. It's very confusing. It probably doesn't help that I moved at the same time that they're clearly doing even more transitions behind the scenes. I don't know. So hopefully it's all going to be managed and I'm going to have a box for June, and we will be doing that video soon, hopefully. And hopefully by then I will be feeling better and more myself. I will likely also be giving you guys a little bit more of an update on how the house is going here If you did miss my last video, I did give you guys like a beauty room update on some things that I have been able to add and a little shopping with me, a little bit of a moving vlog from the tiny house to here. Yeah, so I can give you a little bit more of an update even from that information because I've got even more furniture now in the house from what I was able to film before. We've got a couple more pieces, but in this room I kind of went through with you guys what I want to do of like paint the room. I may even add some more furniture behind me because I feel like I'm kind of in space right now. So I don't know if I have room for a plant over here, but I might add something back here because I feel like spatially I'm like in the middle of nowhere on the camera. So I want to give you guys some context. What kind of backgrounds do you guys like? Are there any content creators that you really like their aesthetic or their vibe, just so I have an idea of what you guys are liking? I'll take all of it into consideration. I can't promise I'll do it all, but I'd like to have some ideas and some like, you know, inspo. Okay, for those of you that missed my last video, I've got a little bit of an update for the beauty room. I do have this really nice rug that I got from Target in here to help with some audio, but also be super comfy. I'm a little messy right now because you guys know I'm sick, so is what it is right now. But I did just get a rug pad to go underneath this because I think that'll also help with a little bit more padding here for audio reasons, but also I think it'll also help to keep it kind of in place because I do have a chair on it. It's kind of not a high traffic area, but the dogs like to come in here too. I did get this stunning chair from Target as well, and I'm gonna link it below. Ignore the cord right now back there, guys. I've got to figure out a whole like system still for all of those kinds of things. But this chair, I showed you guys me purchasing it in Target in the last video. I love it to death. But can we just for a second, we have to talk about this handbag because I now have a home for all of my handbags and some of my video clothing that I like to wear over here, because this closet actually is really great for being long and holding all of my long dresses and some of my shoes, but specifically my handbags. And I have loved this brand for a while. I have another one there, but this bag, I took this bag with me to my trip. This is my Teddy Blake bag, and you guys, they're having a mega sale right now, so it's totally appropriate for me to tell you guys about it. If you love a fun bag for summer, I brought this bag with me on my trip, and it is so big. It even like unclasps over here, so I was able to add even more to it and use this baby as my big carry-on on the airplane, and it held so much. It held my like noise canceling headphones, books, e-readers, tickets, a little extra makeup, you know, all the things. And this is my Teddy Blake handbag. I'm gonna go ahead and link them below. This part of the video is sponsored by Teddy Blake because they have a semi-annual sale going on, and I've told you guys for at least what, a year and a half now, I'm obsessed with their handbags. I have two. This is the really big one that I just got. It is an Italian leather handbag, and this quality is amazing. And I loaded this up, and I was not even worried because the quality is so substantial. It held up beautifully. I have talked about this bag so many times. Let me get the other one that I have from them. If you're not really into big bags but you like more structured bags, I have one of those too. This is the other bag that I have from Teddy Blake, and it's a similar color, but as you can see, it's a little different. This one's a very vibrant summery orange. I love it so much. And this one's a little bit more of a deeper burnt orange shade. It's got some clasps up front, and it's a little bit more of a structured bag. I am obsessed with these handbags. These are real Italian leather handbags, and they are well crafted, and they are not gonna be handbags that are Italian leather that break the bank. Something I love about this brand is that they're already on a deal, so the fact that they're having a semi-annual sale is amazing. Definitely check them out. They're gonna be linked below for you. I've loved these for years, and I loaded this up. I was actually like, man, if this were not a quality bag, it would not have been able to hold up. But fell in love with this, had to tell you about it, and I just used it on my recent beach vacation. Obsessed. Great for travel. Okay, back to the room tour. So I have now a place to put my handbags. I actually have my swimsuits in here from Cupshe. And then I have in some of my dresses, my shoes, but something I failed to mention in my last video, besides the closet, are these blinds. Adam installed these blinds, and these are all custom made blinds that are gonna be light filtering. I have one on the big window here too, which was kind of pricey because it's so big. And then one over here for the side window, because it is so nice to still get light in here, but without having everyone be able to see in here. So I thought that was really nice, and Adam just installed those. I'm probably gonna be getting some kind of like wall curtains. I'm not sure yet, like drapes of some sort. I'm not sure what yet. I may change those out. I'm not sure. I told you guys in the last video I want to paint all the things, but this is the beauty room update so far. There's probably going to be more to come, but let me show you a little bit more of the house. So when you come in from the garage, this is our large entranceway with high ceilings, and we finally have some furniture and some artwork in here. We even have a little plant in here, which is super exciting. Also, Adam installed the blinds in here as well, and the ones in here are either blackout option, or you can make them light filtering. So it is really pretty. It's on both sides, which is nice. So we can either black out some light if it gets too hot in the summer, or have some morning sun in here. This is a piece we got from Home Goods, and this is gonna be our future coffee bar. You can see we already have our Keurig on here. And inside we already have some coffees and teas. And if you live in Florida, you know that the water here is not great. So we ended up getting a water cooler that also heats and does cold water and room temperature water. We're loving it so far compared to having to store water in our fridge, because that's what we've done for the past 4 years when we were on a well that was really not great. So this is a nice option to have as well. I really love how light and bright this room is, especially in the mornings when the sun is coming in on this side. It is so beautiful. We're still figuring out what to do. And now guys, if you consider yourself an interior decorator, help me out here, because Adam is arguing with me on this. I'm thinking this wall when you come in, because this is like a side entrance wall from where our driveway is. This is the entrance from the garage. If you are an interior designer of sorts, or you think you are, don't you think this wall right here would look great with like a feature wall, meaning like shiplap or some type of design on the wall to help with texture and structure? That's what I'm thinking, but Adam's concerned it's too big of a wall. Clearly we're still going to be painting in here because the last homeowner here did some stuff to the walls that we needed to patch, so there's a lot of those things kind of still going on. I feel like this wall could be a beautiful like entrance piece if we like, I don't know, gave it a little extra oomph. And that's why I'm feeling like it needs some shiplap or like some type of textural design. Tell me your thoughts. That is a plant from our amazing realtor, and that is one of Adam's kettlebells that normally live in the garage, but it's been hot. So when you live tiny, you don't have a lot of furniture. So we've been slowly getting some more furniture, as you've seen in my recent vlogs. This is a piece that we also got from Home Goods. It's actually blue. We're gonna be changing out the floors to be more of a gray tone to give kind of a more beachy vibe to this. Right now, this is just holding some wine and games. But this is another piece that we really like, and yes, those are some dog toys over there. Please ignore, because we're gonna have to redo floors and things like that. So we're just still figuring all of this out, but that is also a new piece. And we just got our big bed. Okay, so you take the good with the bad. This room is not decorated yet. Please keep in mind I've had COVID for 12 days, and we have our king size bed now, but pretty much no designs, and the room is a mess because I've been working from in here on my bed instead of my office because I'm sick. So we're slowly bringing the room together. This is like a before. You know, actually you saw in the last video how we just had a mattress on the floor with everything taped out of where things were gonna go. So we're slowly getting there. I'm not sure you're gonna be able to see it too well because the light in here is kind of dark at the moment, but these are some of the floor options we are considering to put down in our house, but we're gonna be doing them this way, because we'd love some continuous floors throughout all of these rooms. So they would actually be laying that way, which is the opposite way that these hardwoods are currently going. And I know anybody who's from the Midwest is like team hardwoods. They're like, don't get rid of the hardwoods. But right now we can't afford to put hardwoods across the house, and we don't like the way that they're laying. So we're thinking for now a solution would be to get some nice big boards to give that beachy vibe. So we're kind of playing around with different textures and tones, and we want it to all go that way to be like one big continuous flooring. So, you know, trying to make this house our home and customize to what we want. So it all takes time. And in the meantime, we're, you know, a little messy, but that's okay. It's all going to come together. I think it's time we could go in with a bronzer. Yes, because I am not positive that this shade is really going to work too well for me. This is called Walnut, but we're going to find out. I think this brush is clean. So let's take a look here and see. Maybe I'll just do a quick swatch. It's not really a color I usually go with, and it looks like it's definitely pigmented, which is good to know. So what I will do, let's just see, how does it blend? How does it wear? I'm gonna have to go in with a light hand, and this brush tends to pick up quite a bit. So let's just see. Ooh, some pickup in the pan too here. So note, if you want to try this, this baby is pigmented. Although, you know, I'm more of a bronzy girl than a blush girl. But I do think what I want to do is just do like old school trick of like tapping it off a little. Let's see here. Kind of going with the middle and back into the brush to lightly try to go on here. See how it all applies. Did I go too light? Maybe it blends out better than I think. I can definitely see it. It's just kind of light. It's okay. Okay, good to know. This is when we experiment with our faces. And then she goes too hard. Of course she does, because she's Nicole. That's how she does things. That's how she lives her life. This isn't my favorite bronzer brush anymore. I go through phases, I feel like, with brushes and techniques that I like. And right now this is not my favorite, but it was the only one that I had that I knew was clean. So I wouldn't have any cross-contamination with other bronzers and formulas. It's definitely like a warmer bronzer that I think will be nice once I have a little bit more sun. I did just get back from more of a beachy family vacation, but I've now been sick in bed for 12 days, so I'm not sure I have much color at the moment for the summer glow. But I think this is going on smoothly. I'm just not, I guess I'm not used to a warmer bronzer anymore. I'm used to like cooler bronzers. See which bronzers I took with me on my trip, but I brought my Tarte that had like 3 different options, and I usually go into that third one right there. A little layering up here. I also feel like with a warmer bronzer, I'm way less inclined to go towards a blush, because for me, blushes are mostly warmer toned, and I always think of like warming up the face with a, like rosying up a face with a blush, so I almost don't want to do a warm and a rosy, because I don't know if that looks like my jam, but we could see. What do we think? Doesn't look bad. Definitely worth playing with this summer, right? Right? Do we want to see this with a blush? I know there's a lot of blush people in the audience, so probably. I'm just going to go into a lighter blush. This is my Natasha Denona blush. I'm going to go in here into just this little bit of a... Adam's gonna come home and be like, you don't look like death today. I'll be like, thank you. It's makeup. Unless this makeup takes a turn, and then he's gonna be like, what happened? You got worse. Totally possible. Okay, so now, okay, ooh. See, with these kind of palettes, I like to start with a natural nude shade just to kind of like get something on my lid and then kind of go with it, and this does not have anything. So I still have my bag of makeup that I took with me on my vacation because it didn't get unpacked yet because I've not been wearing makeup. So I have everything in here that I took on my trip. So you're kind of getting a sneak peek of what I travel with, or at least what I recently traveled with. So I'm going to jump into my Zoeva palette really quick just to kind of get a nude base down to set myself up for the most success I know how to do with the style of makeup I do. I've not watched anyone else use this, so I have no idea if this is one of those good palettes. Is it a hit or miss palette? I don't know how these apply at all, so let's just go in. I'll start with Sandbar here. I have no idea what kind of look I want to do. It's going to be a surprise to both of us. this like dusty yellow shade, which is a shade I really like in the summer because I like to do some sunset eyes and some like summery bold eyes. Oh, and my brows are awful right now. Oh, I should have tweezed them before I got on camera. I have this thing where my brows grow really differently. And when you're sick, you don't really think about it too much, but like right down here, like you can see the straggler hairs. Sorry, just ignore them. But now that I pointed them out, that's all you're gonna be able to see. I know. Nice. This is applying pretty evenly. It's a very pale yellow, but it's a great accent piece. I like to take those type of yellows and lay them down first, and then you can kind of blend stuff over the top of them so you still see this vibrant yellow through in a summer look. I've loved that in the past. I have a Natasha Denona palette I've done that with. And guys, what are you watching when you're sick? What are you watching and binge watching this summer? Because when you're sick and you can't go out because you're quarantined, I'm running out of shows. I've caught up on Stranger Things, and I've caught up on, I'm catching up on season 2 of Cheer on Netflix. Also caught up on Ozark, and now that's over with, and I'm still reeling. I don't even know. I'm gonna go into, I think, Sensation, because I kind of want to see what this yellow can do now. And for those of you curious, yes, this is a sleeping top. I'm still in my jammies while I'm filming for you. I usually only start a video if I have to in something like this, but you know, girl don't feel good. This one definitely has some more pigment to it, which I like. So far, these shadows are doing pretty well. Let's check out tan lines. Tan lines. I sound so nasal. All right. Now this is a color I'm going to be judging kind of harshly because this is the kind of shade that could easily be skippy. But right now, I don't think it is skipping too much. I think it's doing pretty good. All right, we're getting a little patchy here. And I was like, maybe it's my technique and I'm not feeling great, but now I've been here a while. Getting a little patchy. But I'm also not feeling great, so I'm less inclined to blame a shadow when it could be me. You guys have probably seen me do this before, but when I don't know what color I want to do, I put the shimmers on my fingers and then just kind of come up here and go what would look good. I want to do glow on over here on the lid, and we'll see. Ooh, ooh, this is kind of chunky, kind of falling on the face, but that's my own fault. I didn't know what I was getting into. As I've mentioned before, I prefer to use shimmers like this with a finger because I think you get way more opacity, you get way more texture from the product, and it's going to perform a bit better and it's going to pack better, in my opinion. This cool down shade right here, and just use that under here. I definitely want to play with this eyeshadow palette some more, because there's a lot of fun colors in here too, now that I've gotten to get my fingers in it a little bit. COVID, but make it chic. All right. These shadows are very pigmented. I wish I would have taken some more time with this brown tone here because I feel like it's looking a tinge muddy, but again, I think that's me not having patience or a steady hand at the moment. But if you've tried this and you're struggling with it too, tell a friend. I kind of want to get my hands in Heat Wave here because I feel like if I was going to go with a neutral look, what I should have done is maybe just done a little bit of tan lines. It's pretty pigmented. And then gone into Heat Wave here. And then that would have been a way more neutral shade. But in the pan, this looks pretty like brown with a tinge of mahogany maybe. So I was like, oh, I feel like it's a little too deep and a little too rich, but I probably could have, if I would have taken a fluffy brush, gone through the crease area and really just been able to kind of fluff it around a little bit. Now I'm just taking a brush with nothing on it just to blend a bit. Let's see, sunny's out and very hot. Those were probably some of the first things that caught my eye in this palette, but not on a good thing because I'm not a big fan of the pink tones because I feel like they make me look sickly, but they don't look bad. Even that matte's pretty pigmented. Yeah, I don't mind this. I am pleasantly surprised. Guys, I think this is as good as it's gonna get on a day where I don't feel great. So yeah, I actually surprisingly really like this palette. I think it's a lot of fun, and the bronzer actually is surprising me. I want to play around with it some more. Like I said, it's a warm tone, so I wasn't sure how it was going to go because I have been leaning, I guess, more towards a cooler toned bronzer lately. But I am not mad at how this looks. I think it blended pretty well. Granted, I haven't seen my face with makeup on it in probably 2 weeks, but I'm not mad about the eye look or the bronzer. And those are the main things, obviously, I'm trying today. As far as that face wash went that I just remembered, I left it in the bathroom, but it's this guy here. It's an exfoliator, and I probably needed one, but it's nothing really to write home about. It's nothing that made my skin feel crazy amazing. So maybe once I try it on my body, maybe I'll change my mind and I'll be like yay or nay. But right now I think it's fine. Hopefully it doesn't make me break out, and we'll kind of go from there as far as that face wash, body wash polish. It's a polish goes. But yeah, that is everything for my base box right now. Tell me what you got. My PR, like I said, is coming, so stay tuned, and I will be giving you a very in-depth video on those 2 boxes as well. Are they going to be the same as my paid for, or are they going to be totally different? I have no idea what's coming in Luxe. I have not even been looking at spoilers, to be honest, so this should all be a big surprise, at least for me. Thank you guys so much for watching, and if you happen to be new to my loud, weird, crazy channel, hi new friends, I really hope you take a quick moment to hit that subscribe button down below so you don't miss out on my upcoming PR boxes that are coming. Bye friends.